Hello, you guys. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So I titled the live afternoon snack only because it is late. It's after 3 o'clock, but I'm actually on my way to get lunch, you guys. Because I was working and I did not eat my lunch yet. So this is me going out to go get my lunch right now. So it's actually lunchtime for me, but I named it afternoon snack because I felt like it was uh little past lunchtime for most people, right? Most people on a normal work day, they probably had lunch already. So I hope you guys either had lunch on your way to get lunch or you're having lunch while you're listening to this live. I am going to go get my lunch, which means I'm probably going to be eating dinner late too today because I'm getting lunch so late. But I was trying to see if I could wait until dinner, you guys, to eat, but I cannot. My stomach is growling. Hey, yes, Miller, I tagged you. Hey, boo. I tagged you to ask you, did you? And it was all about a juror. It was all about a juror of how the case was overturned. Hey, purple, boo. Um, it was all about a juror that Letitia Stouch case was Gannon Stouch. She unalived her uh stepson. Um, he it was overturned. So I guess we just gotta wait to see what happened. I feel terrible for everybody who has to come back and testify in this case. And I wish, let me tell you something, Miller. I wish so bad that there was a way to give this woman more than what she should get if she's found guilty a second time around. Because that case, it's terrible. It's terrible. It is absolutely terrible. Like, there are so many situations where the evidence is so overwhelming, but this is our justice system. Our justice system gives people the ability to be able to do stuff like this. And so, based on a technicality, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't think I'm mixing this up with another case, but I believe it has something to do with a juror of how she ended up, the case was overturned. And something about the juror had some, I don't know if it was like had some connections to the family or had some connections with the judge, or yeah, that case was horrible. Wait a minute, Miller, the one I'm listening to now with Athena Strand, baby, that case is horrible. And let me tell you, I was not prepared because I was not following that case with Athena Strand. Okay, yeah, it was about a German. Okay, yeah. Are you following the Athena Strand case right now? Because he I think his name is something Warner. I don't know if his first name is Warner, Tim Warner, or something like that. I can't remember his name. But the little girl that was hold yes. So it's in the second phase of the case because he pled guilty, but because it's a capital murder, then it's in the second phase. So the jury is deciding on what the penalty. This is the penalty phase, so they're deciding on what the penalty should be. Y'all, I'm on my way to Subway, so when I get there, I'm gonna order so that I can try to eat while I'm talking to you guys. Okay, I wanted to let y'all know that ahead of time. So, I gotta grab me something because my stomach is absolutely growling, and I did not want nothing I had in the house. So I came out here to come to Subway, and look, I gotta come to a specific Subway because the subways out here do not have every subway don't have all the fixings. So it is a particular subway that I have to go to Tanner Horner. Okay, Tanner Horner. Okay, yeah, I was saying his name wrong. Because that man, he got me completely disgusted. But Tanner was a contracted FedEx driver. So he wasn't working directly for FedEx. But FedEx contracts these drivers, I guess, doing like seasonal work, because this happened during right between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I don't know if he was a regular with this particular contractor or not, but Tanner then took his tail to go deliver a package to Athena Strand's house. She was a 7-year-old little girl in the first grade. And he took that little girl and he unalived that little girl. Now, when it was first talked about, yeah, talking about he got autism, right? When it was first discussed, they had said in the media, and I think this is why I did not follow it, and I think that this is why so many people now are so shocked at what is coming out during the second phase of the trial, right? Because the medical examiner had determined that there was no sign of any type of sexual assault, or at least that's the last report I heard from the little girl. It was also stated by him in his confession that he had struck her with his vehicle, and then he put her in the car, and that's how she passed away. And then he, I guess, made it be seem like he panicked, and then that's when he discarded the body or whatever. Well, baby, that is not what happened. That is not what we are finding out in this second phase of this trial of what happened to that little child. I did not get to listen yet because I was busy this morning. I was listening a little bit in, and then I noticed that I wasn't paying as much attention as I wanted to. But they are going to play the video recording of what happened to that little girl. They said that that video is over an hour long. The little girl's name is Athena Strand. She is from Paradise, Texas. And this is the case from 2022 with a FedEx worker, a contracted FedEx worker who was delivering a package to this little girl's house. He took this little girl. It was not an accident. He did not hit her with her car. His car with the FedEx truck. She was alive when he put her in the vehicle. And it said, the prosecutor said in their opening statement that DNA was found on this little girl in places where DNA of a grown man should not be found. And this is not what we was led to believe when we first heard the statements from the medical examiner and from his original confession. So now we are learning new details in this case as this second phase is unfolding, right? So his defense on why he should not receive capital murder is because he is autistic. And in addition to that, his mother was a hooker, and he was exposed to certain things as a child. And so this is why he should not be put to death. Now, everybody on this channel that knows me knows I am not a proponent of the death penalty. But they also know that I have said this. If I was to champion the death penalty for any type of defendant that was found guilty, it would be for those who commit crimes against children. And listen, I don't care if the child is a day old or 17 days and 17 years and 363 days old. That's how I feel. That is how I feel. Right? When it comes to crimes against children, if this society was to take protecting children seriously and what we should do to those people who commit crimes against children, this is the punishment that I propose for those people if I was a proponent of the death penalty. They are the people who I would give it to, without the shadow of a doubt, right? But I do not agree with the death penalty. But one of the penalties that he can face for this crime is the death penalty. And I don't know if they have played the hour-long tape yet. So what he did, this is part. He committed a crime against another little girl right up the street the night before. And they believe that they preempted of the FedEx truck, but he failed to turn off the audio. So they have an hour-long video of this little girl's struggle with this man and him unaliving her. I don't know if they played it yet today, but the last thing that I heard was they were trying to determine whether some information was going to be redacted or something about with the video they were discussing. And like I said, I wasn't able to pay a lot of attention because I was doing some things in the middle that was distracting me a little bit. So I decided to wait and so I could listen to it a little later. But yeah, this case is horrible. But Letitia Stouch with Gannon Stouch, that was another horrible ass case, and it has got overturned in the Court of Appeals. I also think that Lori Vallow Daybell is on her way to have for oral arguments on her appeal too, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw something about that. I haven't got to follow up with that all the way, but I think that they are going to at least hear the oral argument on that case. And so we will see. But yes, it is a lot going on in the true crime community. It is crazy. It is crazy. Yes, I will once I'm able to hear what that audio is with Athena Strand, that's when I plan to come on here to talk about that case with her. But yes, that, oh my gosh, y'all, I posted it on my wall. If y'all want to follow up with it, you can go follow up. Yesterday was the opening arguments for the second phase. He has pled guilty. His defense for why he should not get capital murder is autism and the fact that his mom was a hooker and that he was exposed to some things that he just shouldn't have been exposed to as a child. And this is why he should not be put to death in this instance, right, in the great state of Texas, right? So that is that case that I'm watching. But I came on here today because I wanted to talk to you guys about something a little bit lighter because I have been watching that kind of stressful content today, right? So I wanted to talk to y'all about something a little bit lighter. So I wanted to know, did y'all hear about the FBI going to Tokyo Toni house? I don't know if it was over the weekend. I think it was over the weekend. The FBI field agents then went to Tokyo Toni house, y'all, because Tokyo Toni got her ass up on Beyonce's internet and said that she would Marvin Gaye her child Black China, y'all. And somebody, I don't know who called, I don't know whether it was a blogger, because I know that Armand Wiggins advocated for his people to contact the authorities about it. So Armand is not claiming that he did it himself. I think that if he did do it, he would say it because Tokyo Toni then tried to say, Tokyo Toni tried to say she's going to sue Armand. So, for what we don't know, because everything and anything that she thinks she can sue him for is on recording, because just like Jaguar, right, she unhinged. That's why they was friends for so long. You know, and they still fond of each other. You know, they ain't had a complete falling out with one another. But, so Tokyo Toni got her ass up on this internet, and she, come on now, go ahead. And she then basically said she would Marvin Gaye Black China. She would do a Marvin Gaye's daddy on Black China. And so now when the FBI, they got the video. You know these people get the video of everything. Listen, they got the video of Offset ass outside of their goddamn hospital. Did y'all see? I don't know if they got the video, but somebody got some pictures of Offset outside their hospital. Y'all, this is not funny. Offset was shot outside of Hollywood casinos in Florida. So that was happening over the last few days too. And these people then got the pictures of Offset outside of the goddamn hospital, looking like somebody grandmama trying to smoke a cigarette outside the hospital, y'all. So these people get everything. So they got the footage of Tokyo Toni of the police report, you know, of the FBI agents going out to the house. They have the video. And y'all, Tokyo Toni is scared than a mother. Y'all, when she was on the audio, when she was on the video saying that she would unalive Black China, she called her a demon. You know how her normal rants, her normal Illuminati rants, y'all. She is up there doing her normal Illuminati rants about Black China, talking about that the baptism wasn't real, that China is a demon, that she would slay her and leave her on the ground and then call the police and tell them to come get that demon. But when them goddamn FBI agents, ooh, y'all, wait a minute, I didn't put the wrong way. When them daggone FBI agents show up at that house, Tokyo Toni, she got some good sense then. All of that. See, this how we be knowing these people is not really crazy. Because sometimes when you hear them talking on the internet and they be saying all of this stuff they be saying on the internet for shock value and to try to save face and to try to keep up a narrative and to just try to fool people into thinking that they really believe stuff that they don't really believe in. They don't, when the police show up, when Homeland Security show up, when the FBI or the CIA or any of a government authority show up on them doorsteps, you hear some good, sane talking then, if you get a hold of that audio. Some video and audio. So they got a hold of the video. And she is in there backtracking everything, talking about it was a metaphor. She didn't really mean it. These bloggers are lying on her. You said I saw that offset picture at Hollis Soler. Hey, listen, he was on there looking like somebody's grandma, smoking a cigarette outside the hospital. You know how them people, they always gotta go outside and smoke them cigarettes at that one hospital. Listen, if you in the hospital, you don't need to be smoking no damn cigarette. I hate that. I hate to go to the hospital and the people up in the hospital and they have that nurse and ask them, can they take them down there to go have them a cigarette break? If you up in here 9 times out of 10, that cigarette is going to make your situation worse. Go lay your ass down somewhere and take these IV fluids and stop worrying. Offset look like somebody's grandma trying to smoke a cigarette outside the hospital. Oh, I swear he did. Oh my gosh, I swear. But back to Tokyo Toni. So Tokyo Toni got on there when them field agents came out to that house. And at first, I guess she thought it wasn't real. When she realized them agents was real, Tokyo Toni was ready to shit her pants, y'all. She was backtracking, trying to send them to the Tokyo Toni documentary to verify something. I'm like, see, this how we know. Now, from now on, we are not believing none of this bullshit that you be trying to say on this internet. Because you acted like you had some good goddamn sense when them FBI agents pulled up at your abode. You acted like you had some good sense then. And this is why we don't believe your rants when you be up on this internet saying all of this crazy ass bullshit that you be saying. None of these people, we don't believe it. Because when the authorities show up, y'all act like y'all know what somebody talking about. Y'all don't be using that same kind of language when these authorities come and they show up at your house asking questions. Tokyo Toni was ready to shit herself, y'all. I swear to y'all. It's the same thing with Gucci. You hear all of these people talking about Gucci snitching, all of this stuff with Pooh Shiesty. Listen, this is why I tell people need to stop with this no snitching culture. Because at some point, you're going to need the police. You're not going to be able to live by that all your life unless you're ready to die by that shit. And if you're not ready to die by that shit, you are going to need the police at some point in your life. Okay? People need to stop that. They need to stop that bullshit, all that no snitching culture, all of that stuff. That's why Gucci shouldn't have had his ass up on his internet. Maybe he was doing that, with his bipolarism. I got to tell y'all about bipolarism, y'all. One of my homegirls, she's bipolar. And so when me and her get into it, when she be having one of her bipolar attacks and stuff, she always be saying, you say, yes, he did. He looked terrible, girl. She always say, girl, but just forgive me. You know that was my bipolarism. So now I always say bipolarism. Maybe Gucci was talking all that no snitching shit when that bipolarism wasn't under control. Now that bipolarism is up under control, Gucci realized you are going to need the police sometimes in your life. You cannot, for the entirety of your life, go through your life and you think you're not going to need the police. You're just not. You said they know such a man. Exactly. It's a bullshit. It's some bullshit ass fucking doctrine that is destroying communities around the globe. Okay? It is destroying communities around the globe. It is some bullshit ass fucking doctrine. Straight up. Like, it is not how that shit don't help nobody. It gives black communities a false notion of community preservation. That's what it does. When it's really destroying your own fucking community by trying to live by that bullshit ass shit. It's just fucking dumb. Gucci, he realized, because he on his bipolar medicine now. So he realizes that at some point in your life, if you don't want to die, you might need the police. Now listen, I ain't mad at nobody calling out his hypocrisy. I'm not mad at nobody calling out his hypocrisy, because it is hypocritical. It is hypocritical for you for your whole life to be trying to keep talking about no snitching, don't snitches get stitches, all this shit. And then you cause the police the minute that somebody come steal your shit. They stole you and stole your shit. And I wish they stopped calling when adults get taken kidnapping. I wish they stopped saying that, because he ain't no fucking kid. He is a grown-ass adult. They got to call it something else. I know adult nap probably don't sound right, but they got to find something else to say it when an adult get kidnapped, because he's not no fucking kid. But at some point, I understand both sides of the argument. I understand both sides of the argument in this situation. I understand those people that say, what do you expect? Based off of what happened, the situation and the circumstance, what do you expect? You have to call the authorities. You got to call the police. You have to cooperate. I mean, just think about if he had his children with him, if his wife had been with him, what type of situation that would have been. Nobody is going to continue to do that for all of their life. Nobody is doing that. But that's exactly why that doctrine should not be pushed in the first fucking place. Because the minute you start pushing that doctrine, people expect you to uphold it when you are faced with a controversy where you might have to do that. So people just need to stop with that shit. They really do. And so I don't fault nobody. I watch the people was going after Nick at night because they was mad because, she was pointing out, people always get me because they will accuse people of saying and doing things that they just did not say or do. Nick is not saying that she adheres to a no snitching kind of doctrine. She is saying that based upon the facts that Gucci Mane has been so vocal about this doctrine and living by this doctrine, that this makes him a hypocrite. She's not saying this for herself. She's not saying this for any normal civilian who does not apply this shit to themselves. She's saying based upon the person who did it, that this is hypocrisy. But this is another prime example of your words coming back to kick you in the ass. Gucci should have never been pushing this shit from the first place. From the first place. Because everybody, and I don't care who you are, everybody, if you live long enough, and if you don't live long enough, you're even more likely to need the police. You're going to need some form of law enforcement. You're going to need the judicial system in order to help you out just a little bit at some point in your life. And so you need to be careful what you support, what type of rhetoric you support when you say stuff like that. And so I think Gucci needs to be held accountable for what he has pushed out here to these young people in this community, because he has a strong vocal voice when it comes to that world. And so he needs to be accountable. Maybe they need to make him go do some summits and all of this other shit to talk about, the damage that he has done by promoting that kind of doctrine. I don't understand why Pooh Shiesty would take his ass to commit a crime with a goddamn ankle monitor on, but baby, I think he did that to dare Gucci to cooperate. Like, and this just shows you how messed up it is out here. Like, why would you go commit a crime with your home monitoring device on? Are you daring him to be a snitch? Is that what you're doing? That's how I took it. I took it like he was daring Gucci. This lady look like Roseanne Barr. I took it like he was daring Gucci. Gucci, yeah, what you gonna do? Because it actually ends up being kind of career suicide for Gucci in a way. Or at least that's what some people think. And by Gucci snitching, they look at it as if he's committing career suicide. I happen to think not. It's a lot of snitches out here. It's a lot of what people have defined as snitching is wide ranging these days. Some people have a strict scrutiny, and some people are more liberal in their definition. At some point, everybody is going to be a snitch to somebody, depending on which doctrine you adhere to under these guidelines. Everybody is just going to be a snitch, right? But yeah, at some point you're going to need law enforcement. So I would probably say that most people should probably try to abandon, especially like that strict scrutiny levels type shit that Gucci was pushing out here. You probably want to tone it down just a little bit and not push that as much, right? I'm not a snitch. I'm not a snitch. It's documented that I'm not a snitch, but that's just in my nature, right? That's just in my nature. But I understand, everybody sometimes, and given in the right circumstance, I can't, like I said, that's why I tell people, don't do no illegal shit around me. I am not the person for nobody to come to do no illegal shit around. I done been there, done that. If that's what you own, stay from around me. Stay from around me. Do not come around me. I held the ground when it was necessary, and I ain't doing that no more. So if you up to some shit that you just don't want to ever get found out, I ain't going to the authorities all for nothing. Unless it's something involving a child. If it's something involving a child, I am going. If it's something involving somebody innocent, I am going. I'm telling you that too now. But if it's anything other than that, I might not go to the authority. But if they come to me, and especially if they tell me, oh, I'm sorry, so just don't do it. And everybody in my life know that. Don't do no shit around me. If you want to do something, yeah, you don't have no business. Do that shit far away from me. Far away, right? So, moving on to my next subject, y'all. So we finished out with Tokyo Toni. I done talked a little bit about Gucci, how I feel about that, and about Offset with that getting shot. We still waiting to hear more about that child. I don't know nothing about all that back and forth with him and that little boy. I don't even know who that little boy is. The first time I heard his name was when they said that he was out there with Offset. I don't even know who he is. But my next subject is Karlissa and Blueface, y'all. Y'all know I be listen. I done got another notification from Karlissa, y'all. I don't follow Blueface like that. I really don't. I don't follow Krishan like that. Really, I don't. I see the clips, and then when I will watch Karlissa, because that's the mama, and I happen to think she is a little bit more interested in, as far as commentary is concerned, than the kids. And I also think she need to be a little bit more accountable than the kids. But the reason that I'm coming on here to talk to y'all about her today is because so Karlissa and Blueface is going at it, y'all, again. Wait a minute, y'all. I done got to the Subway. I gotta order my sandwich, y'all. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna take y'all in there with me while I order the sandwich. Cause I'm hungry. Hold on. I should have ordered before I got here. Y'all gonna have to go with me in here while I go in here and order. Oh, let me get my thing so I don't have to pay with my phone and mess up the thing. Hold on. Oh, do I got cash? I think I got some cash. I hate having cash, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Hey, Michelle, how are you this afternoon? Hold on, I got some. Where I put that cash at? Hold on, you guys. I'm going in here so I could get me something to eat because I am starving. Hold on. I know I had some cash. Where'd it go? If not, I'll just use my card. So I am feeling better, but this kidney stone is still not come out yet. Excuse me, you guys. So, okay. What did I do? It's not that I need to pay with the cash, y'all, but I know I had it, and now I don't even know what I did with it. Lord have mercy. Let me just get my card, because I don't got time. Did I put it in the trash? I'm going to put that cash in the trash, y'all. Hold on. Let me just get my card. Which one? I thought I put it in my pocket, but I guess not. Yo, I hate that. I hate the maybe it's down on the floor. I don't know. I gotta see. Or maybe I left it in the house or something, y'all. This kidney stone is still there. So I have to go back Tuesday, for them to do another scan, I guess, to see what's going on. And then after that, then um after Tuesday, then they will schedule me, I guess, for the procedure to have it removed. And if they have to schedule me for the procedure, they said the day before the procedure that I'll have to have imaging done, and just to make sure. And then I guess then they do it again the day of the procedure, just to make sure. But yeah, this thing I haven't seen it come out, and because they did a scan last week, then I can't have the next one until Tuesday. So I got to go back down to the surgical center for them to the radiology center. I'm sorry. It's for them to check it. Hold on 1 second, okay? Because I'm gonna order my food and then I'll be right back, you guys. Okay? Okay, you guys, hold on 1 second. I'm almost done. I just gotta get out of the store. Gotta get some napkins and get out of the store, and then I'm done in here. So yeah, so that's what's going on with my kidney stone. So hopefully it will pass sometime between the rest of this week or the beginning of next week, so that when I go get this scan, that I will not have to have the procedure done. But it's looking like I might have to have it done. And it's an outpatient procedure, so it won't be anything that I have to um, stay in the hospital for, or at least they're not anticipating. But I still don't want to have to get it done. I just don't feel like it. I don't. Oh, here. See, listen, y'all. I told y'all. This is why I don't like having money, actual paper money, because I just found the money was it fell out of my. I knew I had it in my pocket, right? Because I have a sweatsuit on right now. So I knew I had threw the money in my pocket, because only reason why I had this cash is because it was something that my mother was paying me back about, that I told her don't worry about paying me back about, but she did anyway. And so I had this cash in my pocket, and it fell right out. This is why I don't like having cash. Even my mother knows. Make sure you put it away, because something I will lose cash in a minute. I might, because I don't like having trash around, I might throw it away in the trash. Just all kinds of stuff. I do not like having no cash on me like that. Um, but okay, so we was about to talk about Karlissa and Blueface. So Karlissa and Blueface is arguing, y'all. And so the argument started because, and remember I had told y'all like a couple of weeks ago, I was like, Karlissa will tell Blueface about himself, but only as it pertains to her. And this is just my opinion, but as a parent, I think that is dangerous, because you're showing the child, and it doesn't matter how young your child is or how old the child gets, you are showing your child a level of hypocrisy when you do that. When you will condone all of the wrong things that they do against other people, but then when it comes down to you, then you become vocal, you are showing them the hypocrisy, right? And so to me, I feel like it needs to be some consistency, because a lot of people think that raising your children just stops when the children become adults. No, you are still raising your children. You're going into a different type of dynamic when your children become adults, because you have to teach your adult children how to then function with you as them being an adult, and as you being their parent and being also an adult, right? And so, in my opinion, the dynamics of the relationship change, and it can go through a struggle period with y'all trying to struggle the balancing of powers, right? And so, it doesn't stop there. So I think it is important, especially it's important, period, from the time your children come out, that you just try to be consistent, because I have been careless at times in my approach, and having to realize that it's not what you say, it's what you do. And you have to be careful what you do, what you say, all of that. Is because it's going to show a level of hypocrisy then when you come to your kids about it when you're not. And so I was discussing a few weeks back about how Karlissa, she will get at Blueface, but she only gets at Blueface when she feels like he's done something to her. And she is not maintaining the same level in energy when he's publicly doing things that she disapproves of. It's clear that she disapproves of these things, because she makes it vocal that she disapproves of them when it comes to her, with his treatment of her. And that same treatment is then mirrors how he treats other people. And so I feel like you have to be consistent. And I feel like that sometimes her inconsistency is what has culminated to this moment right here, this happening now. So, for anybody who knows anything about this Blueface, Krishan, Karlissa saga, Jane Alexis saga, I only throw her in because she the baby mama, because like I said, that I felt like that story ain't really getting no traction until Krishan brought herself in it. And then Karlissa is a major player too. And I feel like Krishan and Karlissa are the major stars of this show. And that's just to be honest, because this is where Blueface gets his content. He gets his content off the back of Krishan Rock and his mama. Now, I know he's a rapper. I know he had a single, with Tatiana. But let's be real. We ain't seen Blueface do nothing spectacular since that. We have not. We have not seen him do nothing spectacular since that. To be honest with you, we haven't really seen Krishan do nothing spectacular. We done seen both of these young people be able to rise to stardom off of trauma and trauma bonds that they got with one another. And this is what's selling, right? And this is what has allowed them to be in situations where they could amass a certain level of wealth. And this is where their money is coming from, right? And so now, because of that, their money is dependent on it. And now that one of the major characters in the trauma bond no longer wants to be a part of the trio. Now, and when I'm saying trio, I'm not talking about Jade and Alexis. I'm talking about Blueface, Krishan Rock, and Karlissa, because that's the trio. Jade and Alexis is a substitute, and they try to recreate it, but it just doesn't come off the same way. And this Nevaeh definitely don't got what it takes in order to get that same kind of response from social media. But now that Krishan has decided that she no longer wants to be a part of this trauma bond, and she's trying to go do things in the athletic world in order to make a different image for herself and a different name, now all you really got left to save this saga is Karlissa and Blueface. Okay? So now they are at it, and they are at each other's throats. So this started a long time ago. It started when Blueface was a little boy, but I'm not going to go back that far because that would be too far to go back for the occasion. I'm going to talk about where this latest episode between the two of them has started. So the latest episode between Karlissa and Blueface started because Blueface was on his live stream on Twitch, and Karlissa calls Nevaeh. Now, the reason why, we know Nevaeh is the third baby mama. She thinks she's the second baby mama, and some people out there that say she's the second baby mama. But until Blueface can produce something more legitimate saying that he's not that baby daddy, I'm going to go with that he's the baby daddy. He's just playing the deadbeat part. Krishan is making it difficult, too, for him to interact with the child, but we don't know where all of that stuff is coming from, and until we know more, I don't got no comments on it. He's the baby daddy, and that's what I think anyway. So Nevaeh is the third baby mama. So Karlissa calls the third baby mama Nevaeh, while Nevaeh and Blueface are on live stream, and Nevaeh answers the phone. And later we're going to find out the reason why Karlissa had to call Nevaeh is because Blueface blocked her, right? Which he's been known to do. This ain't the first time. So Karlissa starts the call with, she doesn't even really say hello. We don't hear a greeting. I don't know if maybe the phone call wasn't on speaker when she greeted her or whatever, but you don't hear her greet the girl. All you hear her immediately go into what she's requesting. And Karlissa is requesting that Nevaeh tell Blueface to post her and promote her book. Now, Karlissa that wrote this book about her childhood, I guess it's about her whole life, but it includes some of her childhood trauma. So there's a lot of controversy behind this childhood trauma that she documented in this book, because the daddy, the mama, and I'm talking about Karlissa's daddy and mama, and some of Karlissa's siblings is saying ain't none of that stuff true that Karlissa put in that book. But Karlissa is saying that it is true. So we don't know, but she done wrote this book about her life. She think people interested in hearing this about her life. So She's calling Nevaeh because she's blocked by Blueface, her son, in order for him to post and promote this book. Because apparently she tried to message him and was not able to get through because she's blocked, right? So Nevaeh had it on speaker, so Blueface hears her. Nevaeh don't gotta tell him anything because Blueface hears her because she's on speaker. So Blueface says to his mama, well, I will promote your book if you apologize to my baby mama. And Karlissa immediately is like, what are you talking about? Apologize to your baby mama about what? And so Karlissa has been, saying lots of things. She's always giving her input about what's happening over there with Blueface and his love life and all of that. And in that, then she talks about these girls, and she talks about them way more than she talks about him, right? So she says a lot of negative stuff about them. And so Blueface was demanding that his mother apologize to Nevaeh for the stuff that she said publicly. And Karlissa was refusing and resistant to doing that. And they engaged in a back and forth argument. And Krishan gets, of course, like always, she gets brought up in that back and forth argument. And it ends with Karlissa not giving any apology to Nevaeh. And with Blueface saying, okay, well, then I'm not going to promote your book. And he hangs up on her. And he makes it known to his audience that the only reason why he wanted to continue the conversation with her when she called on Nevaeh's phone is so that he could get a clip out of her. So something for him to go viral about. That's the only reason why he answered the phone. So in addition to that, they continue to have more conversation about Karlissa, his mother. And Blueface is kind of asking Nevaeh, how does she feel about the things that Karlissa says. Nevaeh is kind of like, at first she's trying to not really even talk about it. She's trying to tell him, like, let's move on and talk about something else. She doesn't really want to, you can kind of tell Nevaeh doesn't want to make it a thing about Karlissa. But it is Blueface pushing it, right? Karlissa's son. Not the baby mama, but the son. So then Nevaeh simply says, I don't feel any kind of way about a woman saying the things that she says about me, when you're talking about a woman who's been married 3 times and got 3 baby daddies, right? Now, only one of the baby daddies is she was married to, because the other 2 men she was married to, she don't have no children with. So in the midst of that, all Nevaeh is saying and translating is that is 5 different men right there, right? That's kind of what Nevaeh is relaying. So she's like, she can't make me feel no kind of way, because how does she think that her situation is any different or any better, or that I've exceeded anything at my young age, what she's done? I got what Nevaeh was trying to say, right? But of course, Karlissa blows a gasket. And she go live and she is calling the girl trailer trash and just all of this stuff. And now she's saying this is where she's done with her son. Now, all the other stuff that her son has done to disrespect her, this is where she says she's done with her son. Because he wanted her to apologize to this trailer trash, this 304, she kept calling her. Or whatever kind of name you could think of, Karlissa was calling this girl, right? And she was doing this even before Nevaeh even did this on that Twitch Live. The reason why the conversation came up and Nevaeh gave any input is because she's been doing this, right? And so now Karlissa is saying she's done with Blueface. She's not going to ever come to his rescue anymore. She's putting business out about him, saying all this negative stuff. She's done. She's then said negative things about the baby that is in this girl's stomach belly. This that her son believes is his right now. Um, it is a big mess, and so apparently there was another live stream with Nevaeh and Blueface after, and Blueface sparked up the conversation about his mom again. And now they are threatening. Well, Blueface is saying he's going to do a live to talk about all of Karlissa's pussy capades. Yes, all of Karlissa's pussy capades. So basically, he's going to go live and talk about all the men that Karlissa has been with, or he's alleging and saying she's been with, since he was a kid. Now, what y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that? Do y'all think this would Karlissa get? So all the stuff she do out here on the internet pertaining to her son? Or do y'all think that no matter what, he still just should not do that? What do y'all think? Because Karlissa don't care if she come on here and talk about him and tell all his behind the scenes things and put out she says and puts out whatever she wants to, and she says she does it because she got a right because she's his mama. She says that she has a right to do it because she is his mama. But apparently he has an issue with her not respecting those boundaries. And so as a result, if she wants to keep on saying things about the women that he's involved with in derogatory terms, he's saying he's going to put her negative business out here and tell all the things that she was doing. And I guess basically to show she's no different, or at least this is what he's saying, she's no different than the people that she's calling out. This is his threat to her. And I want to know what do the people think. Do y'all think that this is the medicine that Karlissa needs? Because what she does, do y'all think Blueface is wrong for putting his mama out there like that and threatening to put his mama out there like that? Or do y'all think this is all some orchestrated ass shit in order for them to keep making money off of this internet? Which one? Which one do y'all think it is? Y'all, I gotta cut this live short. I just got a text message that I need to deal with. So I gotta cut this live short. I'm gonna come back to y'all to talk about the Duggars. But that's what I wanted to ask you guys about this saga with Blueface and Karlissa. Who do you think is right? Who do you think is wrong? Do you think either one of them is right or wrong? Or do you think this is just all some more orchestrated mess to keep getting money out of the internet off of all of this traumatic ass, traumatized, soap opera ass bullshit? Let me know how y'all feel in the comments. I'm going to try to come back later and talk to you guys about the Duggars because I got something very important I want to point out about that. And y'all be safe until I get back.